welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lights Out Racing Assist 2 Round 7. We are here at the beautiful Suzuka circuit in Japan. This 3.6 mile circuit has a lap record of 139 in the Mercedes in 2019 by Lewis Hamilton. And we will be racing a little over 20 laps, 28 laps here today. We have a full grid of drivers out ready to race today, and I am very excited to be here. And I think we're going to have a good race with all these guys. Let's go out on track right now and see who is out on a lap. It looks like Henry Z is the first driver to be putting in a hot lap. It's going to be interesting to see what tire compounds these drivers use. Softs are the favorite choice just because they're obviously the fastest tire and can get you high up on the grid in qualifying. But mediums strategically kind of are the recommended way to go. Medium hard is generally the recommended choice of tire strategy for this race. As Henry Z gets a little sideways coming out of the spoons, and he's going to struggle to catch up that time further down the track. 130R is now flat out in these modern cars pretty easily as well. It looks like he invalidated his time in the first place, so he'll most likely head back to the pits and try again. Synth is off the track. I don't know what exactly happened there. Looks like he lost it and broke his end plate. Here we are with Dick Tucker. He had a very good race on Saturday. I believe he finished in the top 4 and had a good chance, closed up to get a chance to P3 in the last few laps. Just wasn't quite able to make it work. As we finally get some laps on the table, 126.9 by Chen, 127.3 by Fruware, and then a pretty decent second back from pole position, pile of garbage up to 128. So we had a momentary few yellow flags. Let's finish up with Dick Tucker on this lap to see how he does. The last chicane. And he sets a 127.7. Good for the second row as of right now. We'll see if that holds up. What else do we have? Looks like Striffium. I don't know if Chenj is giving him a tow or not. Suzuka is not really a track where you need a tow. Dirty air can really compromise your laps, especially through spoons and the S-curves. But you could get some aid down the long stretch here. As he backs off. Not sure what's going on. That's a bit surprising. He's going into the pits. Maybe he invalidated his time. Not 100% sure what happened there. All right. We have a couple new drivers on the grid today. Obviously, Rez had his first race with us on Saturday. Had a good result. He's back here on the track. I'm looking down the list here, and I'm struggling to find a name. Must have a different name on his Steam than he does in Discord, but that's how it goes. have a Alpha Tauri parked there on the side of the road, trying to get out of people's way. That's a big thing around here. It's hard to really keep track of all the drivers because there's so many corners and it's easy for them to sneak up on you, but you don't want to block drivers' hot laps because people get pretty upset, as Rez is going on the medium tires. See how he does as we have still yellow flags around the track. Shifting down a little bit there. See if he keeps it flat out. He does keep it flat out. It can be a little tricky with those medium tires through that section. You don't quite just have the grip on the rears to hang on. Actually, the fronts to hang on through there. The rears want to step out, obviously. And he seems to have done it, and he'll hope to get a good lap in with these medium tires and not put too many laps in on them. Around 130R, flat out. A lot of people like the the Alfa Romeo livery this year. A lot of fans of it. As here he comes across the line, not a great time. A 129.6 put him in 12th position. So he's going to be disappointed with that, for sure. All right, looking out here. Good number of people are in the pits. Probably starting for a second run or third run, depending on how they've been able to do. We still have 5 drivers, seems to have been unable to set a time. It's a bit surprising. Yoda is definitely, let's go on board with Yoda. Just starting his lap. He is a very talented driver. I expect him to be up near the top of the leaderboard. Today. You see him weaving through there. It looks like he has little connection issues because it's a bit jerky. At least on my screen it is. But Tucker does well to get out of the way. Just a touch of a lift through there. ABS will help you with that corner. Shifting early to gain traction out of that zone. It's very difficult. It's very easy to lose a rear and slap into the left-hand wall. He manages to get good exit, and another good exit out of turn 14, and he'll be flat out. Missed his sector 2 time, but he's looking very good. 120 as he finishes out through the Casio triangle, and he sets a 127 flat, and that will put him in 4th position. A bit slower than I expected, honestly. I think maybe he's taking a little bit easier on his first run of the day, but I was expecting a bit more from him. Looks like pile of garbage is on a lap on a fresh set of softs. You can really hear the he invalidated that lap, it looks like. He tried to cut that corner and went all 4 tires off the track, and he'll have to, if he has enough fuel, he'll coast back and try it again, but otherwise he'll have to pit for a new set of tires. As Duck Lovers decides not to go for a lap and is into the pits. Yoda's not on a good time. Is anyone else out here? Nope. It's on a good lap. Nope. He's into the pits, and that will be that for the moment. Oh. Right. Mikal leading the championship standings currently. Very talented racer. Struggled a little bit as he goes wide there, and that is going to invalidate his time. Looks like he's actually on an extra out lap, so hard to find someone on the hot lap right now, unfortunately. As Sherlock Homeboy crosses the line with a 1:27.9, puts him in P10. Very tight there between 10th and 11th. Obviously, 11th is probably the preferable position to be in. You get the fresh set of tires of your choice. As he gets out of the way for an Alfa Romeo. All right. As Leon has retired with his medium, must be happy with his medium tires, and will be giving that a go for the race. Looks like we have about 50-50. Drivers in, drivers not. Alright, see if Duck Lovers can improve off of his P3 at the moment. Surprised he didn't disqualify his lap there. Very aggressive around that corner. And we'll see how he keeps on going. Coming out of Sector 2, we'll see how far up he's up on his best time. Might have some work to do. And there you have it. 3/10 up. This could be a blistering lap from Duck Lovers. Definitely could put him on pole position for now. A little messy there through the last chicane, taking the shortest line as possible. And he does go fastest by a 10th. Great lap by Duck Lovers. He's going to be very happy about that. All right. Number of drivers still in the pits. I'll be back in a moment. All right. Qualifying, sorry for that. I'm back. Standard qualifying time is over. There's a few more minutes, allowing these last few drivers to finish their laps. Looks like Pile of Garbage is able to be one of those drivers. Short shifting again, 4th, 5th, 6th. And good exit there out of turn 14, and we'll see how he is on his sector 2 time. He's just negative, so he'll look to potentially improve his time, hopefully with a very good last 2 corners. Brakes a bit early, that's going to cost him. Does well on the second corner of the chicane, takes the closest line to the finish, and that puts him 2/10 up at P8, and he will start in the top 8. And that might be the last of the drivers that we see. All right. I don't think there are any other drivers who are on the hot lap. It does not appear that there are. And this looks like this could be your provisional qualifying grid. Obviously, the nice thing is that we don't have to worry about COVID for our drivers. They can all drive from home. So, unlike the F1 in England this weekend, you don't have to have any spare drivers. All right. That is the grid. And hopefully the game will figure out what's going on and send us on to the race. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Let's see, like we have a number of the same fans out here today. Will Ionides crash? That's a great question. All right. This is our grid. Mikau and Change are able to take back the front row from Duck Lovers after he provisionally did so on his last lap. Did so quite convincingly. Mikau is going in a great position. And then Freeware takes up the second car on the front row. Yoda, Dick Tucker, Henry Z, Funky, JJ, Pile of Garbage, and P9 drops a position there. Still in the top 10. Sherlock Holmes makes up the last driver in the top 10. Ionides, Rez, Cirillo, Stryphium, Leon, Big Poppy, Finn, Synth, who's our new driver today, in P18. Periginator, and Swifty, who looks like he was disqualified. So that is our starting grid. That is the end of qualifying Suzuka. We will be back shortly with the race. See you in a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. Qualifying is completed, and we are here for the race. The Japanese Grand Prix is about to start. Drivers are on the grid. The teams are finalizing their last strategies, trying to figure out what tires they want to start the race on, fuel loads, all crucial elements. Each driver is going to be trying to pick the best strategy that he can to end up first place on the grid. I am excited to be here to introduce my good friend and fellow commentator, Nihai. He's going to be joining me for the race today. How are you doing today, Nihai? Thanks for joining.
Good. Glad I can finally get into the lobby.
Yes, indeed. It's a bit, we had a bit of a fun. Full grid, obviously. Issues with only 22 spots in the lobby, so two commentators, 20 drivers. Hard to get everybody in there properly organized, but we managed to do it. Recommended tire strategy: soft to hards, two-stop soft mediums, or medium hards can work as well. I'm going to pull up the tire type so we can see what exactly people are planning to start on. Looks like, as predicted, the top 12 are on soft. Surprisingly, Ionized and Res didn't go for that as well. And then the bottom 7 drivers, are choosing to go for mediums. But the Chenjin MRF and Yoda get disqualified from the formation lap. But this start off the line is going to be really important for Mikao, and he's going to have a big advantage now with Chenj not being able to warm up his tires in the formation lap. But what are your keys for the drivers today, Nihai?
Well, I'll be interested to see. We have a lot of drivers that race Tuesday as well, non-assists, so it'll be interesting to see what they learn from their strategy on Tuesday and what they'll change. I already see Duck Lovers is starting on the softs instead of the mediums like he did Tuesday, so that's one of the changes there. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see strategy changes as well as how things will work out with the safety car, as it's kind of expected here in Japan given how tight the circuit is. So we'll see how things pan out.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting circuit. It's a narrow track, but there's plenty of runoff, which is a bit of a redeeming factor for these drivers. It's really easy to lose the car, especially through the S curves. Rejoin the track with your warmed up tires, and it's kind of be difficult to stay on as the grid is now finally forming up. I'm not sure why we're getting this lovely camera angle that doesn't show us anything, but I can't control that, unfortunately. It looks like the grid is set. We are green. The lights are out on my screen. They're not out for them. Moment of and we are away. We are racing at Suzuka. We are racing in Japan. Good start by Mikao. Great start by Duck Lovers. He easily gets into second place as they come through here. There's contact. One of the racing points is spinning. We have a Ferrari that's spinning. Yellow flag. No thing coming out quite yet. Further back down the order, looks like everyone's still on the track, although the Funky JJ is well down to 19th, lost a bunch of positions there at the start.
Yeah, I think the Funky JJ spun off the start and took out a couple people with him.
But really brilliant start by Duck Lovers. He was able to start from 4th position, get up into 2nd place with that start there. As Leon gets a little bit on the curbs, and the grid looks to have finally been sorted out just a bit. Funky JJ is able to make up a couple places. Pile of Garbage made up 3 positions, as we have a close fight here between Chenj and Henner Z. And Chenj will take back P3 and look to catch up with the front 2.
Yeah, Pile of Garbage and Henner's both gaining 3 positions off the start there, so great reactions.
As Dick Tucker's taking a look at Pile of Garbage through there, he's going to have the outside. We'll see how this goes, and he's able to make the move stick on Pile of Garbage, who will drop back down. A little bit cautious through there, as you should be. Don't want to get damaged this early in the race. Don't want to fight too hard, because he could end up rooting the rest, as he also loses position to Yoda, who flies through. Yoda lost a good number of positions there, and is looking to get back up near the top of the field. Great start, as looks like Periginator was the one to lose out most. He is 20 seconds down. He must have pitted for new tires.
Yeah, might have destroyed his wing there on the start, hitting the wall.
I think the closest battle that we're about to see is between. Let's go to Leon here quickly, and doesn't look like he'll get a move done. As Swifty goes into the back of Sherlock, and that is going to damage his front wing, and he's going to be very upset about that. He's looking to come back to the inside. Sherlock Holmes covers and has the speed to stay ahead coming into the spoon, and the lack of a front wing from Sisty is going to really hurt him, and Funky JJ is right beside him looking to get the move done. He will, well before, and Rez and 16 will also look to capitalize on the stricken McLaren in front. Doesn't look like he's quite close enough to make a move. And let's go back on board with Chenge up here, closing in, trying to get back at Duck Lover, who took his position at the start of the race. Duck Lover gets a little bit hairy coming through the S's. Gotta just stay focused. No one can overtake you through here. So the key thing is just to stay on track and get a good exit.
Yeah, no one can overtake as long as we don't mess up.
Yep.
So.
Exactly right. As it looks like Chenge picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, and that is really going to hurt him early on, as Yoda looks to have an issue.
Looks like Henner's spun as well. He was in P5, I believe, all the way down to P16.
As we have an aggressive attempted overtake by Dick Tucker. Somehow, Pile of Garbage was able to get past him earlier, and he'll have a good run here. Goes to the outside of the Ferrari.
Ooh.
He will have that position coming into the spoon curves, moves back up into P6,
there.
but he brakes a little bit too late, goes wide,
Oh.
and Dick Tucker is going to swoop past and take P6 once again. This could be... As Chenge is trying to get past Duck Lovers, not quite able to make that move, and we'll see if he can get anything done through here. Has a great run out, DRS wide open, not much of a defense Duck Lovers can do, and Chenge is going to take back P2. Alright, Sherlock Homeboy. Leon has DRS in front as well, so he's not going to be able to close up as much as he would like. And some good driving by all these. Let's go on with Synth, see if he can get a move done on Finn. To the inside, DRS, overtake. Both have the same medium compound tires, makes it look easy. Not exactly sure what happened to Henry Z, if he has a broken wing or not, or if he just spun. Looks like he has all his front wing. But as the Funky JJ has spun, and a bad start goes worse. He spun in the first corner, he spins again, and he's going to drop 9 positions along with Henry Z. Both have had a shocking start to this race, and they're not going to want to hear much about that for sure later this evening. Looks like Pile of Garbage has closed right back on up here with Yoda, who seems to be struggling. He's usually a much pacier driver than this, but can't quite pull away from the Alpha Tauri behind.
Yeah, he might just be a little too close to his teammate ahead of him. Dick Tucker in that dirty air might be costing him some time here. As we see that gap close between Pile of Garbage and him.
All 3 of these drivers will have DRS, so it's going to be basically impossible for an overtake to happen through here, as Henry Z gets a 3-second time penalty. So far, no safety car, no virtual safety car, and that is a good achievement by these drivers. And still a good bit of close racing as Mikau opens a nearly 3-second lead to Chenge. Chenge will look to hunt him down in short order. Looks like Finn as well. Not sure where Synth went. Can't see each other. Oh, there they are. They're a bit further apart than I was anticipating. Let's see if Ionides can get anything done on Big Poppy. Not through here. Very few overtaking opportunities so far. As it looks like Big Poppy does go wide, though, offering a good opportunity for Ionize to come in to the inside. Big Poppy tried to come back, forced to go wide, and Ionize is going to take P12. Alright, looks like Yoda gets past his teammate Dick Tucker into P5, and he'll look to close the gap to Freeware in front. Garbage just outside of that 1 second now, and will no longer have DRS. So that was a crucial thing he needed to maintain, but wasn't able to do it, and that he might have a difficult time closing back up with these drivers. As Striffium makes a move on Leon, unable to get anything done. Just didn't quite have enough room at the end of the straight. He'll look to slot back in behind. As Sherlock Homeboy in P10 is also, as Striffium loses the car. Sherlock Homeboy goes through, Swifty goes through, and that was just a driver error there. Got onto the curb, lost it, and that's going to drop him all the way back to P14. Not what you want. And we're seeing some uncharacteristic mistakes from a number of these drivers.
Yeah, those curbs through the S's are catching him out with the lack of grip there. So, you gotta stay off
as
those.
Rez makes a great move. There's slight contact, and he's on. Oh, no. That is very unfortunate. He's going to be very upset with that. Incidental contact between the two of them as he retires. That is extremely unfortunate. First retirement of the day. Very unlucky. Similar incident last week, and he's going to be upset about that. Thankfully, it doesn't bring out a safety car. That would be unfortunate. But all the gaps seem to have kind of expanded out a little bit for now, so we have to wait a little bit for an overtake. Well, it's lap 7. When should we expect these drivers to start coming in for a new set of tires, Neha?
I would think around maybe probably double in lap time or lap count. So at least 10 laps, maybe 9.
Yep, so potentially 3 more laps. That sounds about right to me. As Henry Z is the first of our drivers to go into the pits. Goes on to the hard tires, look to maybe get a little bit of an undercut on the drivers in front.
Yeah, it all depends on how the driver's straining the tires. So if he's able to get more life out of them, he might be able to do an overcut, or you have some drivers that are putting in the pace now and trying to do an undercut.
Let's get back on Pile of Garbage. He has closed up the gap that was once over a second, down to now 7/10. And he'll be able to open up DRS again, and Tucker no longer has DRS himself. It looks like Leon is the driver who's gone up 7 positions so far. Swifty with 8. Some great driving by those two guys. As Dick Tucker is into the pits, and Pile of Garbage will move up into P6 momentarily. I think tire would be a more interesting bit of information for us to know, as Dick Tucker comes out of the pits with medium tires, so that's a bit of a surprise. Looks like he's going for a 2-strop strategy today. Leon looks to be doing a 2-stop strategy as well. He has a fresh set of medium tires at P7, so he's in a good position if he's able to use them to the fullest of their ability.
Yeah, I remember in the last race, people talking about how good the hards were actually once they got up to temperature. So, surprised to see people going for the 2 stops with the mediums rather than switching to the hards. We'll see what the top 6 here do in the next couple laps.
As Striffium moves past Big Poppy, and will look to mount a charge after his spill early on.
Looks like the Funky JJ spins again out of the S's.
He was a last-minute addition to this grid, and he seems to be struggling quite seriously. As Stryfium again gets a bit funny as Pile of Garbage is into the pits. He has a new set of hard tires taking to the end of the race. Last time he got on hard tires, he spun himself into a wall, so he'll look to maybe be a little less aggressive with his new boots and stay with a full front wing. You can tell he's a bit ginger already.
Yeah.
He doesn't want a bit of deja vu. Go on board with Dick Tucker, a little chain of 3 drivers. Dick Tucker has those fresh set of mediums, so he'll have the speed advantage for sure. We'll really need to get past these drivers as soon as possible in order to preserve, his race strategy and his tires. As Big Poppy goes wide, and that's going to provide the perfect opportunity. Big Poppy's able to handle it. So that's going to put him right in the prey of Pile of Garbage behind. Still a second and a half back though, so we'll need to try to catch up with the Red Bull driver as Sherlock Homeboy gets a 5-second penalty for his speeding in the pit lane. Let's go up. Well, his engine sounds like it's about to fall apart, just like the actual Ferrari engine. But Freeware is really going to need to defend against Yoda behind, close that gap up to less than half a second. Not expect the move to get done here relatively quickly. Nikau pitted early for those hard tires. It's going to be interesting to see if between Chench and Duck Lovers and Freeware, who might go for a bit of a undercut. I think it could be pretty powerful around here. If I were Duck Lovers, I would pit this lap for sure. He's in the sight of Freeware, who loses it just a touch. And Nikau's 10-second back with his set of hard tires. Let's see if Duck Lovers pits. He's the first of these 3, all with 9-lap-old softs. See what they do.
Yes,
and yes, he does. He is no one behind him pits. He manages to break in time, and he is putting on the medium tire. That is a bold decision, but I guess that is it's possible. They only have to last 16 laps, so I guess it's not as crazy as I thought. That could be a very interesting tire choice. He's able to get some overtakes done relatively quickly.
It was a bit crazier 5 laps ago, or 4 laps ago when we saw some people putting it on, but yeah, he should be able to make those last to the end. And of course have a bit more speed now.
As the drivers in front of Pile of Garbage pit, and he is now back in the points in P10. He's going to have some driving to do in order to get back up near the top. First order of business for Duck Lovers to get past Swifty in P7. We have Stryfium, who look to swoop past Finn here relatively quickly, as Finn is having a blast on those medium tires. Stryfium's being cautious just because any overtake is inherently risky through here. Very cautious on the accelerator. Maybe he's not feeling confident with his hard tires. Don't seem to have much grip for some reason. As Yoda and Freeware are into the pits, we'll see if one of them gets the jump on the other. Through here could be very interesting. Looks like that won't happen. Is that just me or does he have intermediates on? Oh, what a mistake by Freeware. If I'm not mistaken, those are intermediate tires. And he's going to
Yeah.
have to pit again.
How did that happen?
Horrible strategy error by Racing Point. That he's going to be furious. He's going to be at, and I don't know what I don't know if it's going to rain. The skies are blue. But Polygarp is just going to close up on him in a matter of moments.
If he can make it back to the pits.
If Freeware is just on ice skate, be careful here, pile of garbage. Don't do anything too crazy. Guy doesn't have any tires, and he skates past him quite well. P9 for him. Oh, Duck Lovers is off. Duck Lovers is off. I didn't quite catch what happened there. His front wing is damaged, and he's going to be very upset. Don't know what happened exactly between him and Swifty, but he's going to be upset for that as Freeware gets a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. I don't know if that's corner cutting or just trying to stay on his intermediate tires, but that's a horrible change to the strategy for Duck Lovers, and we'll see if he pits again for sure.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't know what happened there.
See if
I've been trying
Strickland
to
is
overtake
able.
out of
Yes,
turn
he
10
is.
there.
Gets past Finn. Tries to fight back as best he can, but not going to work. And Ionides finally goes into the pits. Duck Lovers is staying out, so hopefully we'll see if he can make those tires last. But he'll be hoping to hang on to P7 or P8 with the drivers in front of him. That is, especially if he had managed to hang on, he would have been in P4, as the Funky JJ does retire, and it's gone bad to worse for the Racing Points today.
Yeah, nothing really going right from the start for their team.
Looks like Swifty's also losing a bit of his front wing, so there had to be contact between those two drivers. Don't know who was at fault. I'm sure we will get an earful of that after the race.
Yeah, it looks like both are missing right front end plates. So that'll cost them a bit here on the corners.
Yep. I'm not sure how. I know Duck Lovers and Swifty were right next to each other coming into that corner. I switched to them to see what was happening, and he was off already, so not exactly sure.
Well, actually, Duck
place.
Lovers is missing his left front end plate, so probably just contact there coming into the corner.
Maybe.
And someone got pushed out wide.
Well, Leon is in a great position right now. P3, fresh set of tires, 7-second gap to Yoda, and he could be looking at a podium position for sure right now. As Dick Tucker is looking to make a move on Swifty, and he makes that move, and Swifty is injured as well. So Duck Lovers might have a better pace than Swifty depending on their tire situation. And Duck Lovers gets a very good exit out through there.
Oh.
A little bit adventurous driving by a Swifty, initiating some contact. And they're back at where this incident occurred. Duck Lovers is a bit more cautious right now. They both get a little bit loose on the rears. Duck will need to really pass Swifty here soon. Probably bide his time through 130R if possible, because Pile of Garbage is closing that gap behind. We'll need to clear Swifty and be able to return to race pace in order to stay in P6.
Yeah, Pile of Garbage.
All right.
Already by 3/10.
This could be interesting. Both using ERS. Duck Lovers going for the switchback on the outside line, deep into the corner. A little bit of contact, but he gets a great exit. 3-second penalty for corn cutting. Forced off there, he'll have DRS. He will move to the inside, side by side, and he gets past Swifty. Didn't quite leave much room at the end of the turn 1 there, but overall, good racing between the two, despite the contact. And Pile of Garbage is now less than 2 seconds back, as we have a yellow in Sector 3, a number in Sector 1. Not sure what's going on. Looks like, not sure what happened exactly there.
I think just some contact maybe between drivers.
Okay.
No one's spinning yet. Yeah, Pile of Garbage closes the gap down to 1 second. He will get DRS probably on the next home stretch.
As he need to get good exits out of all these corners, but he should be able to move up into P7 here shortly. There's a huge pace difference between Duck Lovers and Swifty, obviously. Duck Lovers already 2 seconds up. As Henry Z retires from the session. Not sure if he crashed or he just called it quits, as a virtual safety car will momentarily save Swifty from falling down to P8.
It looks like he crashed through the S's, although...
Trying to see if I spot a car.
Yeah, I don't see where.
Somewhere back through there, but couldn't quite figure out where that was. As Ionides gets a drive-through penalty, he's going to be upset about that as we go back to green. As Duck Lovers took the opportunity to go into the pits. And it has a new front wing and a set of soft tires, so he'll come out, it looks like, in P10, P9, and he'll hope to get a bit of a run on. He has a big gap in front to worry about, so he'll want a safety car to come out, potentially. Let's go back on board with Pile of Garbage. Not sure if I like that move by Duck Lovers, the pit. Obviously, we'll have fresh set of tires, but he was already in P5, was he not?
Yeah, P5.
So, not exactly sure. As Leon is, maybe he pitted? Must have pitted, because he is now further down the order. Let's go on board here with Pile of Garbage.
Good exit.
And he will move to the inside. This could be interesting. Left plenty of space there by Swifty. Good for him. Pile of Garbage lifted and then goes to the inside. Wheel-to-wheel contact. Goes a little wide, but he'll look to have a good exit. But does not, and Swifty will manage to hang on to P5. Physical wheels out, elbows out racing between these two.
Yeah, no one gave up that corner.
No. Good move to switch back through 130R and go for get the inside line. But just broke a little bit late. Swifty didn't leave him much room there at the first chicane. And that was that. Pile of Garbage will need to get a move done soon because Leon behind is going to try to steal his lunch. Already right up on the back of Pile of Garbage as we have more yellow flags come out.
Yeah, well, Swifty has that damaged front wing.
As Chenge gets 3-second time penalty. I don't know the exact time penalty issue up in the first few drivers, but this could be very important between those two.
Yeah, let me go ahead and take a look here.
As Leon now joins into the fray between these three drivers.
So Duck Lovers has 6. Chenge, I think that was this one.
All right, ERS deployed, trying to close in on Swifty one more time. Goes to the inside of 130R. Lifts again. And he maybe looking to make the overtake happen here. Oh, as he does, well, Swifty dives into the pits, but Leon behind has DRS and the better exit, and he will get a move done through here. Not surprising. With those fresh soft tires, it's going to be nearly impossible to defend. And Pile of Garbage ends up staying in P6 despite getting past Swifty.
Yeah, so Chenge actually has 6 seconds of time penalties. And the gap right now behind Toyota is 12. So,
Any info on Macau?
but Macau and both Toyota do not have.
Okay, so that could be very interesting.
Also, on the bottom of the points there, in around P10, P9, I believe some of the either Striffium and Swifty have a 10-second time penalty, so there could be some points up, at least a point up for grab for some of the people like Cirillo, Finn.
Yep.
Further down.
Well, Freeware's drop should be able to pass Swifty, but doesn't seem to have the pace. Oh, I guess Swifty did pit for those fresh, so his car's back into one piece, and he'll look to fight back up the order.
Yeah, Marksy Farts in the Twitch chats asking how Leon is on 20 lap old hard softs. I think it's just a bug in the game.
Yeah,
there's no way
it's
that...
it's an unfortunate bug in the game. You can check because the race is only 19 laps old, so there's no way they're 20 laps old. So there are probably just 1 or 2 laps old. In fact, so he was running in P3 and pitted.
He stopped once. He's had one stop, so he's definitely changed tires.
Yeah.
It's just a bug in the game, causing a bit of issue and confusion.
As Swifty's right on the back of Ionides, who had that drive-through penalty. His tire advantage should be very strong, big enough to get a move done pretty quickly now. Having to bide his time behind Ionides through here. Getting on the curbs a bit, that can be a little bit hairy. If it's a good run out, won't be able to overtake through here, though, unfortunately. There's just no room to do so. Some exciting moving by Ionides there.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to get to the inside line and defend it. And it's a difficult set of corners to navigate through, as that is just very ill-advised by Swifty, trying to overtake through there.
Oh boy.
We'll see what happens through 130R. This could be exciting. Swifty is missing another end plate. Pushes Ionides a bit wide, a little bit more contact. And Ionides takes to the dirt as he loses it further back, and that's going to let Freeware pass both of them. And we shall see as Freeware moves up into P9.
Yeah. Opportunistic move there.
That's kind of a lot what this is. The third driver behind just want to let the guys in front make a mistake, which they probably will as they battle each other. And then you can swoop in and gather the 2 positions for free. Buy one, get one free deal.
I don't think I even bought one.
Yep, you got 2 free. Well, the driver in front bought one, and he got 2 free.
Oh, man.
The Swifty, once again, being quite careless with his front wings.
Yeah, his R&D department won't like that, having to remake those at the factory.
As Duck Lovers has managed to close the gap down from 16 to 10 seconds, but I don't know if it will be enough to make any moves.
Yeah, second a lap here.
As Ionides has a great turn of speeds on Swifty. Looks like he lifted just a touch, so he'll stay behind. As Swifty has to go defensive, though. And he'll get a much better exit out through here. Will Ionides. DRS opening. See if he has the ERS to attack. He does. Takes the inside line. And Swifty goes outside.
Oh no.
And backs out of that, thankfully. That could have gotten very, very exciting. Not in a good mind.
No, not in a good way at all. I thought we were about to see our first safety car there.
It's very easy for the red mist to descend with these guys.
Yeah, the tunnel vision.
You feel like you got slighted a little bit, and you just want to be very, very aggressive to the detriment of yourself. So, a little life lesson for everybody watching.
Take a step back and think about it.
Yes. They always say, before you send that email or text, step away for an hour and come back and read it and see what you think. I've used that a few times in life myself.
Yep. Gives your time to reflect, and your opinion will probably change it a little bit.
See if Swifty's able to get past. Make an attack on I-9s through here. Gets a pretty good exit. Takes 130R flat, even without a front wing. A big dive bomb goes through, comes back onto the track, and that was interesting.
So an instance like that, when you overtake off the track, I mean, technically he was ahead going to the corner, but there's no way he was going to brake in time.
Yeah.
Should he be giving that position back, you think, or?
Definitely, but so yeah, as you said. As you said, the game had him as ahead going to that corner, so it probably didn't give an illegal overtake to him. But he might have gotten a corner cutting penalty, depending on the game, so we shall see.
We'll see if he lets him by here on the straight.
I-9s gets 3 seconds. I doubt it, personally. But we have to watch this exciting battle between these two guys, because it's the closest action on track, and they have a bit of bad blood, it seems, as I-9s gets a bit loose. And when your rear gets loose through there, your rear tires lose grip, your rear gets loose as well. Because, or actually you get a butt clench, actually, I'll say that. It gets pretty scary. You're jerking at the wheel trying to get it back under control as best as you can.
Yeah, the hardest thing to do in that situation is to not overreact and overcorrect.
Yep.
But yeah, here at the front, we have Matthew mentioned in the chat. We have only a 1.2 second gap now between Chenge and Milkow. And Chenge is on 9 lap mediums. Milkow's on 12 lap hard. So
yeah. It definitely is possible on track, but Chenge has those time penalties. So
that's true. Yeah.
Milkow's in a great. Milkow probably. If I were Milkow, I wouldn't fight too hard. The guy behind has 6 seconds of penalties. You can stay within 6 seconds of the guy with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, I hope, as long as he knows about the situation, he should be not putting up too much of a fight to Chenge there. Just double checking that it is 6 seconds here. Yeah, he has 6 seconds into it. And I believe he's on 2 warnings.
That gap is down to 1 second. It will be under 1 second here momentarily. And it really looks like the rest of the grid is, for now, pretty well set. Big gaps between Yoda, Big Tucker, and Leon. Pile of garbage. Safe in P6. Sherlock, 7 seconds. And then 8 seconds to Duck Lovers, and his soft tires are going to start to wear down. So his strategy of pitting didn't work. He'd probably be a few positions further up if he hadn't. Really, the closest battle we have is for the final points position. And if something happens between Milkow and Chenge here, which is pretty unlikely. Careful, Ionides.
This has definitely been the battle to watch, though.
It's
fighting it out for a good 10 laps here.
It feels like watching a disaster in slow motion. You know something bad's about to happen. Just don't, or maybe it's a horror movie. You know something bad's about to happen, but you're not sure exactly when. As looks like Mikau made a mistake. Change is less than half a second. Well, 6/10 now.
He's got 2 laps to make up a second and then get 6 more seconds. So, highly improbable, but not impossible. We'll see what happens. Ionide makes a move through the S's.
Did I miss it? Looks like I
Yeah,
missed
you missed it. It was actually the safest overtake I've seen. And it was in the scariest part of the track.
Well, that's good to hear.
And he's almost got a second on Swifty behind, so Ionides might be pulling away here.
I'm sure there's a pretty big penalty, a number of penalty points between them, though, so you never quite know how that will all shake out at the end.
Yeah, I think there's too many time penalties to count at this point.
Let's go back on board with Chenj. I don't know. 12 lap mediums might not quite have the speed that he needs to overtake Mikau.
Yeah, I think Mikau has increased his pace here a bit as well. As he sees Chenj appear in his rearview mirror. Or I guess his side mirrors. It's a bit unrealistic in the game how they have a rearview mirror.
Wrong button. Right now on the back of Mikau, he can taste P1. Has DRS now.
Final lap.
Final lap. If an overtake occurs, it will be this. We'll have one more chance through 130R. Striffium retires from P12.
Seeing that in the feed there, Striffium just went straight on into a wall.
Interesting.
Out of one.
Maybe his brake.
Either, well, I'd hope his steering could do something. But yeah, looks like something went terribly wrong there.
Well, it might just be a moral victory for Chenj to get past Mikau at this point, but it would be something he would probably be quite proud of, even if he doesn't end up P1. But as it is, Mikau will have a very firm hand. He'll have one hand on the championship trophy, and Mikau is using all of his ERS to stay ahead. Gets a great exit through there. I don't think Chenj has the ability to catch back up.
No, he's out of ERS as well. Unless he goes for the dive bomb. No.
And Mikau gets to P1, Chenj P2, go back down the line. Big gap. Oh! Yoda spins into the pits. Disaster. Disaster indeed. That's not what people wanted to see. Is he trying to reverse? Nope.
Oh, he reset the track. I don't know if...
That was absolutely bizarre. As Dick Tucker crosses the line. Leon, pile of garbage. See if he can move up a position. He does not. Stays in P6. Sherlock Homeboy. P7. P7 for now. Duck lovers getting a little hairy himself. Coming across the line. P8 freeware. P9 and Ionides just coming around. Looks like he might have the last points position. We'll see if Swifty is able to move up at all. Yes, he does. Wow. Moves up to P9. We'll see if he stays, depending on his driving style. But that is your final standings. P6, I think that's back-to-back P6s for Pile of Garbage. Consistent. As Leon is driver of the day, and I definitely agree with that. All right. Well, Mikal, Chenge, and Yoda. Thank you. Appreciate that. Beer is just as... I prefer beer over wine, if I'm honest. Although, your book club might drink wine. I probably would bet it does, but tell me if I'm wrong. There is... You have it. That 6-second penalty, time penalty was crucial for Chenge. Not able to steal P1. 16 seconds from freeware. That is absolutely outstanding. The effort it takes to do that. 3 DNFs today. Yeah. White wine's better than red. I'll give you that. And Leon, P5, Pile of Garbage, P6. Did not have any penalties, it looks like. So good, clean driving from both of those two. Is good to see from all involved. And then Sherlock with 11, Duck Lovers with 6. We will have some interviews in a moment. We will be back, see what drivers we can get in. And thank you all for watching. We will be back in one moment. All right, we are back here with some of the drivers on the grid. Start with you, Mikal. Pole position, crunch time, the last hot lap. Was able to gather pole, and then drove in the lead to victory. Made it look pretty easy. A little fun there at the end between you and Chenge behind. Closed the gap, but his time penalties didn't really give you much of a threat. So, any thoughts on the race?
No, I'm just glad that we were able to put on a good performance today. Seems to be the case after I have a poor race. They seem to be able to bounce back, which is good. Keeps the championship in a strong place from our side. So yeah, qualifying was a bit interesting. I made a mistake on my first 2 runs, but I was able to get at least a clean run in at the end, and surprisingly that was enough. Chenge was off the pace in qualifying, so it's important not to become complacent and just keep looking forward to Zandvoort next week.
Sounds good. Congratulations on your victory, and good luck next week. Chenge, you ended up P2. Seems like you struggled initially with your start. There.
Yeah, I had cold tires.
That's right. I forgot you had cold tires.
I had cold tires from having a little incident with someone on the formation. Yeah. So yeah, my tires were at like 150 Fahrenheit, somewhere around there.
Okay.
The rear tires. So there's no way I was getting a good start. I'm just happy I could get the positions back that I lost in the start. Nick had the pace over me. I don't know. I didn't really get a good lap in quali, but still, even if I had gotten a good lap, probably wouldn't have beat Mick. I don't know. Like the car just felt really weird today. Could have been my setup. Could have been anything. I don't know.
Yep.
But yeah, my pace wasn't great today. Happy to secure P2.
Well, you had a little different tire strategy. You went to mediums with your pit stop instead of hards. How were your tires at the end of the race? Were they all right?
Yeah, they were fine. They were like 50% maybe.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
not
they
too
were
bad.
completely fine. My tire wear was pretty okay the whole race.
All right. Well, congratulations on P2. You probably could have had a shot P1 without the time penalties, but good. Congratulations on your haul of points. Yoda,
Thanks.
what a
Hey,
crazy end. You spun out of the last turn. What were you
I
thinking?
was I was going for the fastest lap. I was a second up on my best time going into sector 2, and I was setting purple sector, so I really thought I had it, but I just overcooked it a little bit. It made for a very dramatic and
I
and
saw
then
you.
to the race for me.
Yeah.
I tried to reverse into the pits to get through
Yeah.
the finish line. Didn't work. The game reset me to track,
Okay.
and yeah,
Well,
then I just drove.
luckily you had a big gap to Dick Tucker in P4, so you were able to hang on there to P the last
Yeah,
position.
my pace felt good. I fell back at the start. I had a bad start as well. I fell
Yeah.
back, had to get through the traffic.
Well, you feel
We were going good with freeware, but he made a mistake in the pits,
yes.
and then my race was pretty much solo, really.
Yep. Well, speaking of that freeware, I believe you put on the intermediate tires, and that really put a big hole in your bag of air. What did you just hit the wrong button?
Yeah, I decided at first to pit for mediums, and then I was like, maybe I'm not gonna make it, and I wanted to switch for hards, but then it automatically clicked twice,
Ah,
so it wasn't inters, and it was too late to change it back, so I was forced to do one lap on inters, spun out about 3 times, getting a 10-second corner cutting penalty for just sliding around a corner.
yeah.
Yeah, and then apparently I went on the mediums and got like, I think, P10 or something.
Yep, congratulations, you're able to get the points. But that was definitely we watched you pit, and I saw some tread on those tires, and I was like, "What is going on?" I don't think it's raining, but good recovery from that. That was definitely funny to watch. Good luck next week. You might need those intermediates next week. I'd keep them in your luggage.
Yeah.
All right, Leon, you are driver.
Hi.
You
Yeah.
are driver of the day. You started decently far back up the grid, but you had a good race and were able to make up a bunch of positions. How did,
Yeah. sorry,
no,
sorry.
yeah. So how was the race from your perspective?
I never feel great about qualifying and stuff, so I always go for a slower tire in the beginning, and I had a great pace because I drove this. Like, this is my favorite track of all maps and of like all races. So the car was great, and I was feeling confident, especially after going like overtaking some guys with the soft tire in the intermediate one. So yeah, I just felt great.
Well, good. Congratulations on. Was this your first
Thanks.
race with us? Or
Yeah,
did
my
you have-
third one.
Oh, your
Yeah.
third. Okay. Well, congratulations. Good race
Thanks.
from you. Driver of the day for this race. All right, guys. Thank you very much. That will be the end of the interviews. I appreciate everyone watching. We will be back Saturday with Assist Ones in Zandvoort, the Netherlands, and then on Tuesday with non-assists once again at Zandvoort as well. And of course, we'll be back next week with Assist 2 on Thursday with Zandvoort there. So it'll be a whole slate of Zandvoort tracks. We'll see if we have wet, see if we have dry. Should be a fun set of races. Make sure to tune in at 8:30 Eastern on Saturday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch the stream this evening. I hope you enjoyed the race as much as we did. And we hope you have a good evening and a great rest of the week and a great weekend. Enjoy the outro music, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much.